The following podcast contains spoilers and adult language. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, this is Hal Sparks.
Zoltan!
And you're listening to, what the hell's the name of this podcast again?
The Showdown.
The Showdown. It's just so sad. Not for the people who do it. I mean, they at least it gives them something to do, sort of outpatient behavior. But for God's sake, why are you listening to this? Please turn it off. Please. It's distracting you from driving. You're ignoring your children. If you have them, I feel bad. I can't do anymore. This is terrible. Showdown podcast. Really?
The Showdown podcast presents the Survivor Series with Corey Miller, Vic Miller, and Brad Scott. This week's episode, Above the Law. Welcome to the Showdown podcast. This week's episode, Corey, random action star Miller, and his movie Above the Law, versus Vic, random black action star Miller, and his movie Above the Law. I'm your host and referee, Brad, other random action movie star Scott, and my movie Above the Law.
I think something's wrong with Brad.
Did you see what I did there?
Yes.
We did the old school intro, so I made it like an old school introduction.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's how we used to do this show, and that's why I was very welcome to the Showdown.
Yeah, we got it.
So this is the Showdown podcast. We've won 3 awards. Chew on that. Yep.
In your face.
This week we have lots to talk about before we get into the movie. And Corey,
Yes.
why don't you? This is your topic, so why don't you tell us what you want to talk about?
Oh, you want to start with that? I thought we'd end it with that. I thought we were going to talk about the Matrix.
Up front,
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's
you
Vic.
brought that up.
That's Vic.
Oh, Vic brought that up.
Yep.
My apologies, Vic. What do you want to talk about with this Matrix?
We're
movie?
starting off great.
So they're reviving the Matrix. I don't know what it would be at this point.
Franchise.
Yeah, because it's definitely not a trilogy anymore, since they have the Animatrix, everything else. But they're reviving it, and they are talking about different actors that could possibly take the spot of Neo, since Keanu Reeves is, I think, just aging out. Maybe couldn't really handle the
Well, it's probably because
action.
It's probably because.
So this is.
I think he can handle the action.
So this is reboot, not continuation.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah. So I think it's because.
So
there's a
new
reboot.
Neo.
I don't know how I feel about it being a complete reboot. Has it really been that long since this movie came out that they need to reboot it?
No, I think it's a stupid idea. And
Came out, what, 2000?
Yeah, like early 2000s. I think it's a stupid idea.
17 years.
So
I mean, I think we forget that we're in
haven't forgotten it.
2017.
we haven't forgotten. I think one of the main reasons they want to do it, and they're not going to admit this, is because the second and the third movie were so bad. It's like let's reboot it and we'll make it better.
Have they talked about who they're going to get to play Morpheus?
No.
I would assume Miley Cyrus would be a top candidate.
Oh yeah,
Take the red pill or the blue pill, buddy.
that's it.
Your life isn't what it seems.
Well, apparently, according to the overall, opinion of a number of different sources, they have a number of people that they feel would make a good Neo, which is kind of interesting to me because
Michael B. Jordan.
No,
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I just assume he's considered for everything.
yeah. Well,
He's on my NBA 2K game.
it's interesting
That's
that they
that's the
have
other
such a
Michael Jordan.
diverse group of people that they're talking about, from John Boyega,
Who we all know from.
from Star Wars.
Rogue One.
Rogue
One.
Wait, what did he
Not
play?
Rogue
Not
One.
Rogue One, episode 7.
What did he play?
8, 9.
Who was he?
The black guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
John Boyega.
So they're going to go Black Neo.
Well, or also Aiko Uwais, an Asian. Is one.
Is that the dude from the raid?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would make more sense, right?
Casey
dude.
Affleck.
No
Affleck.
way. No.
I'm telling you,
He's an Oscar winner.
I'm telling you what people are looking at as not Daniel Glover. Yeah, Daniel Glover.
Do you think the Donald Glover?
Donald Glover?
Danny Glover?
Danny Glover?
We actually were just having this conversation last night that my son and I always say Danny or Danny.
Well, hold on. What if it was like follow me, follow around your desk, creep down. They're agents, blah blah blah. I'm too old for this shit.
Take the blue
That's
pill.
the whole movie.
Pill.
I ain't taking any pills. I'm already taking some for my cholesterol and my blood pressure.
Would Mel Gibson be Morpheus?
If they were flipping it completely, no.
No.
That's a good reminder. Thank you, Corey, to turn up the sound effects. Do you think the entire Neo audition process is they just have them go sit on a stool and go, whoa?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Did you almost just sneak in your Owen Wilson there?
He did. Like, it wasn't even.
Wow.
It was Owen Wilson.
Wow. That could be your recasting for this movie.
Yeah.
Owen Wilson as Neo. What would he say?
I don't know any of the lines, but
God damn it, Corey! You don't have to. There's only one line you have to know, and that's
wow.
There you go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
God.
So, do you know who Mary Elizabeth Winstead is?
Yes.
Of course, Vic.
Her.
Which we all know. The audience may not, though.
They're putting her as a possible
Hey.
Neo.
The audience may not know her.
I don't know who she is. That's why I was asking you.
He does. Where would we know her from, Corey?
She was in Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Was she the chick?
Yeah, she was the chick on the roller skates.
Oh, God.
And in 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Oh, she's the main.
The main chick from that, yeah.
Okay. She's going to be Neo. So they're going to make it a woman?
I guess, yeah. And also Kristen Stewart.
As long as Neo doesn't try to run for president.
Yeah.
Kristen Stewart.
No way.
No, God.
No.
I'll never want, I'll be happy when she's out of the Matrix.
Mm.
Let me ask you guys this. Would you live in the Matrix or would you want to live in the actual reality? And be aware of everything?
Considering being out of the Matrix and what everybody was going through, I'd rather be in the Matrix.
Vic?
I'd rather be out and able to do all this shit in the Matrix when I want to.
Ah. Yeah, I think I'd want to live in the Matrix too. That seems like a lot of work. Just give me just update me and give me a better life. I'm okay with that. Like
I saw what happened to the guy who tried that.
Well, no,
right?
what? Joe Panelli?
Yeah.
Joy Pants?
Yeah.
What happened to him again? I know he bargained to get out.
Yeah.
Or to get back in.
He wanted to get plugged back in. And
What
they
happened?
basically killed him.
Oh, see, but that's bullshit. If they would actually follow through on that, man, just plug me in.
Plug me in and make me the richest man in the world type of shit.
I don't even need that, man. Just just give me a lot of weed. Give me enough money to be happy to where I don't have to worry about it.
In Colorado.
To quote unquote
I don't have to be in Colorado. Anywhere. Just give me some weed and some cable.
Tom Hiddleston.
Who is he?
Loki.
Oh, okay. The dude with the weird face.
If you say so.
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan is actually the number one pick.
See, I told you.
I wanted to get to him. Shut up, Corey. I wanted to get to do the other ones before we put him up as.
But I'm sorry. It's my fault. But he's obvious. Like, dude, he's the number. He's everybody's first choice for everything.
Yeah, most definitely.
And White Man Can't Jump, they would be considering him for both Sidney Dean and Billy Hoyle.
I like the idea of the dude from the raid. I think that's the best choice.
I think so too. What about Diego Luna?
No. No. I think I still go with the dude from the raid.
I like him as a pick too.
If you like action movies and you haven't seen the raid, go rent it or buy it.
But there's a big kind of Jesus-y feel to the movie. It starts to get to that point, like when he's riding on all the things and he's in the cross position, like he's Jesus. That will give you Asian Jesus.
Well, I mean, I think
Look up Korean Jesus.
Well, I mean, there's it wasn't just that too. I mean, you even look at the first movie, and there's little hints that he's the Jesus character. So that doesn't bother me. I don't care about
Overall,
that
though, I would rather see them
be
continue the story. Like, as you see Neo fly off, and he's got like the uber power of the Matrix type of situation, but the Matrix is still intact, obviously. And I think that a continuation of the movie would be more enjoyable than than them just redoing the movie altogether. But,
when you go through Neo quotes, from Rotten Tomatoes, like 2 of like the first 5 are just whoa. And they're listed individually for some reason. Without like any context to which scene they're from.
Right.
They're like, there's this many woes.
Where it's from.
I wonder if anybody's gone through and counted the woes.
So you get a woe count from every Keanu Reeves movie.
Oh, this would have been a perfect quote for you. He starts it off with, wow, that sounds like a really good deal. But I think I've got a better one. Wow. How about I give you the finger? Raise his middle finger. And you give me my phone call. Wow. Yeah, wow. That sounds like they have it repeated. Damn it. I was like, this is kind of cool. So, yeah, that's The Matrix in 2000. And when is this supposed to be coming out? Is it already like a done deal? They're going to do it? Or is it one of those like Stephen King's It where 4 years it gets tossed around?
It's still in the... It's still in the working on green light stage.
Okay, so
but it's obviously it's far enough in the production that they're starting to talk about who's going to play Neo. So it's happening. It's just a matter
of
when.
when.
It should happen.
No, I don't think so either. I think it's a dumb idea.
All right.
I mean, it's like I said with the second, third movies, it's not like you could get any worse. But still, it's not worth it.
I think it's more along the lines of they see how much money is being made with kind of that genre of movie
and remakes,
and figuring if they can get their hands in.
Well, and at what other time have people wanted to get the fuck out of reality more than right now?
Right.
I mean, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's agreed.
So, is there anything else? Did anybody else have a subject? Corey, do you remember?
No.
No? So I guess we should move into a little segment we like to call... And now, the Showdown Podcast History. Vic?
Fuck you, Corey.
Okay. I think that's it of that one.
Corey?
Yeah, it's been a long time since I had seen it, so watching it just for the show was a reminder.
And when was this?
When I rewatched it?
When you saw it the first time?
Oh, this was it's sometime in high school, so
80 years ago.
80 years
Pull
ago.
that history from him, Brad. Because I think you forgot what we were doing.
And I saw it for the very first time this afternoon on HBO Go. And I gotta say, Vic's right. Fuck you, Corey. This has been the Showdown Podcast History.
Well.
So, Corey,
Brent, thanks for...
There's another game we like to play. It's called The Budget Game. And, Vic, do you have that info?
I do, Brad.
Okay, well, let's just give me 1 second, because we actually have some music for The Budget Game. So...
Okay, Corey, here's your hint. This movie was released on April 8th, 1988. On a budget of $7,500,000, what is the box office take?
How much did it make? It's an April release.
I'm gonna go
88. They spent $7.5 million to make it.
I'm gonna go 10.5.
10.5.
Yep.
And you have a leniency of $750,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's going that. Give me one more second here. I was shocked. I thought I was going to have to go 1, and then I ended up with... Vic, how much did that movie make?
That movie made $18,869,631.
But still, by definition, a failure.
Damn.
As it only made a little over, 1.5?
Much like Corey's prediction, a fail.
Yes. So, Vic, why don't you take us through Above the Law?
Can I just get the 2-minute warning now?
I guess if you want to ruin my joke, I literally had the button ready for as soon as you started talking about the plot.
I had no idea.
God.
Dude, I'm psychic. I had no idea.
Come on.
All right, so this movie is about Sergeant Nico.
Vic, we're giving away thoughts and feelings. You know that's not a good formula. It doesn't build suspense.
He yelled at our guest last episode, or on. Well, I guess that one hasn't aired yet. With Brent.
Yes, it has, Corey. We're up to date, Corey.
Oh yeah. I always forget about these. I always forget what order.
You know what? This is a sad-ass start to a show for a sad-ass movie that was chosen.
Should we just start the whole episode over?
No. I don't want to spend any longer with this movie than I have to, Corey. We're powering through and we're getting to it.
You guys suck.
Do you even remember what you were supposed to be talking about right now?
Mm-hmm. I'm not doing. It's him.
Don't yeah, Vic fucking up jokes. All right, go ahead.
Look, loser game show right there for you.
In the interest of fairness.
Thank you.
All right, Vic. Tell us about this.
So this movie is about Sergeant Nico Toscani, a native of Palermo who is a detective in the Chicago Police Department. He is a ex-CIA agent / Vietnam veteran / linguist, because he knows every fucking language in the world.
He speaks like 4 languages in this movie. We counted.
Who's we?
Me and my watching buddy.
He has a watching buddy.
Yep.
So yeah,
you don't want to watch this movie alone because you'll need somebody to revive you when you pass out from boredom.
This movie was not boring.
So Nico is recruited by the CIA at 25 and goes into Vietnam as an agent, and he is privy to a CIA detention / torture session that he doesn't agree with. He gets pissed off and he leaves. And then we transition back to Chicago.
Now
that's how things happen.
Now don't forget one of the guys that he was buddies with that decided he was like trying to calm him down. That was the relief pitcher in Major League.
Hey, I've got the best Steven Seagal quote YouTube video pulled up. It's 8 seconds long. What do you guys think it's going to be? It just says it's all it's called is best Steven Seagal quote.
I don't know. There's so many good quotes from this movie. Go
Vic?
ahead.
You just want to find out together?
Yeah, I can't think of it.
You know, we find folks, we interview them. If we like them, we give them a box of chocolates. If we don't, we kill them.
What the fuck is that from?
You know, we find folks, we interview them. If we like them, we give them a box of chocolates. If we don't, we kill them.
I'm pretty sure that doesn't sound like Steven Seagal.
Are you kidding me? It is Steven Seagal.
Is it?
You know, we find folks,
What movie is that
we
from?
interview them. If we like them,
Oh,
we
that's
give them a
not
box
even
of
from this
chocolates.
movie.
If we don't, we kill them.
He's got a huge ass goatee.
And this is later on.
You
in
know
life.
he was a cop, right?
Yeah.
And he had a show?
Yeah.
Steven Seagal, lawman?
Mm-hmm.
He's a fat cop, Vic. And he just, hey, I don't think this brother's going to be okay to drive. Like that, it's so bad. It's so awful. And there's one point, this guy...
Did they replace him after they got rid of Shaq on that one show? Didn't Shaq do something like that too?
Well, he started out. They did a reality show in Muncie where it was him and I think Trish Stratus and Jack Osborne and some other celebrities where they became police officers, and that's where the whole thing started.
I find that more interesting than this movie.
Well, there's a guy. There was a guy on one of the episodes I saw. Here it is. I'm gonna try to find exactly.
He's done.
I'd feel much better if we don't let him get back out on the road again. I suspect he's maybe just had a little too much to drink.
Hey,
What, man?
Seagal, my wife love you. I don't like
know what, man?
My wife love you.
did you hear that?
I love you.
No. Listen
Did he
again.
say I love you?
No, he goes. That's Steven Seagal. He goes, my wife love you. And then he goes, I don't like you, but my wife love you. Listen again.
I suspect he's maybe just had a little too much to drink.
What, man? Steven Seagal. My wife love you. I don't like him, but my wife love you.
Why you don't like
I
him?
don't like him. He's stunting. I don't believe you can fight like that.
That liquor kicking. Showing 2 misdemeanor convictions. 37, he's played through his CI.
That liquor kicking.
So,
I would have preferred to watch 4 episodes of Steven Seagal Lawman than to watch this movie.
Man, this movie. Are we even going to
how
go
about
through
this?
the plot of this movie?
No, how about this? How about this? You defend this movie.
Why am I defending
this?
it?
You take us through the plot and you defend this movie however you see fit.
Okay, I don't need that.
Oh, man, we threw down the gauntlet. I feel like I just got slapped in the face by a glove.
Now, 20 years pass, and now he's a cop, okay? His partner is played by Pam Grier, okay?
Returning.
Yes.
Here's the thing. I'm going to give you the floor. Vic, I want you to do the same.
Okay.
And I want you to pretend that this is almost like an old Showdown episode. We did the retro theme. How about we do like a little battle, but it's a handicap match.
Gotcha.
It's you against us, and you have to convince at least one of us that we were wrong. Because here's the thing. I will have a much fresher mind because I watched that movie today, but by watch it, I mean after about 25 minutes, I went from the TV to putting it on the laptop, and I played some NBA 2K, and I kind of watched this motherfucker while games were loading.
Well, you
and
probably
stuff.
watched more than he did because he was just watching it because he hasn't finished it yet.
Yeah.
So I'm at a big disadvantage here.
No. Actually, I think you're more at an advantage.
You have a better chance
because you have
I
more of
know
a
how it
clean
ended.
slate to work with. Had I actually probably focused on this whole thing, I could probably rip it apart more.
Okay.
But I'm giving you the opportunity to have a showdown first. A movie that we discover early on has no chance, and we're giving it
A fighting
a speck of life.
Okay, so Pam Grier is his partner, but she's about to retire because she's going to become a district attorney. Okay?
Too old for this shit.
Yeah. So anyhow, 20 years have passed, as I said, from Vietnam, so it's like the mid-'80s. And some things start to happen around town. There's a bombing.
That's at a church, right?
At a church, correct. That he's in, and he realizes, and he was friends with the priest who was injured during the bombing. And before he was injured, the priest had showed him this room that's down underneath the church.
Yeah, I bet there's a room underneath the church.
Knew that's where that was going. So, and they find out there's a bunch of refugees.
We usually don't want anyone older than 13 down here, Steven. You're pretty lucky.
So,
and actually, he said, I haven't been down here since I was a kid when they were walking down the stairs.
He did say that. He did say that. So anyhow.
But then he said like this, I haven't been down there since I was a kid.
No, this was before he got thick tongue.
Yeah.
So when his face started to chub out, so did his tongue.
This was at the time you still had to turn up your volume really loud because he's barely talking. So that's a joke.
He does a lot of like those quick one-liner type, or he tries them, but some of them don't even like really make sense.
Right.
Right? Am I right in that? Like,
Yeah.
like when he's on the phone that one time, and the guy's like, "You really need to get you and your family out of there." Thanks for the heads up. I could have used yesterday, or some shit like that. Like just really bad action star one-liners.
So they're at church, and before the bombing, he goes there because he's trailing a couple guys who actually work for this bad guy that they were trying to shake down. Because
You work for Toretto. Sorry.
All right.
I'm sorry. I'm supposed to give you the floor. I'm sorry.
I
Go
know.
ahead.
I'm trying to.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. They work for the bad guys.
Okay, they work for the bad guys. So he follows them there. They end up leaving. He knows something's happened, but he doesn't know what. Then the priest brings him downstairs. Then the bombing happens, and he's like, he knows that the main bad guy, who acts a lot like Al Pacino in Scarface after he gets arrested, and does it through the entire for the other scenes that he's in.
So he does a bad Cuban accent.
Not so much the Cuban accent, just the attitude. So he is trailing him, and his police captain is like, "You do not go after this dude." And when he finds out, the police captain finds out that he's been doing the side work. He's been wired. He's been tapping the phone lines, and he actually has evidence of wiretapping. And he ends up getting
Look
kicked
at this
off
guy
the
getting
force.
political.
Yeah. He gets kicked off. He has to turn in his badge and his gun. But his other not his partners, but the other guys that are on the force, they back him, they trust him, and know that something's going on. So he ends up getting a gun from one of the other guys, who ends up protecting the rest of his family, played by Sharon Stone and some little baby who does not look anything like a white baby. So
I don't know, but he got Sharon Stone out of it.
yeah. So they end up tracking down. They end up going after this main guy and trying to bring him down, because what he's doing is he's bringing in C4 that is military grade, and they know that there's something going on, and it has to do with the CIA, because the guy in the beginning that Vic was talking about that was interrogating the guys in the jungle, he's the one that's in charge of the whole thing, and so he wants to bring this dude down because he knows that this is not somebody that should be walking the streets anymore. And so that's the whole point. And they mention a couple different times during the movie that Seagal is working above the law. So this is one of those action movies that they have to reference the title in the movie, which just makes it, it's just one of those, oh, look at that. They referenced the name of the movie in here, and they did it 3 times, which was even better. And so with the help of his former cop buddies and Pam Grier, they're able to locate where he's at and kind of and track down the priest. There's another priest that the guy, the interrogator dude, is trying to go after and find out if he told Seagal's character about things. And so they're looking for him, and they end up, there's so much gunfire, and then the action. This is a movie that it's a great watch. There's funny stuff that happens that's unintentional, but it's still funny to watch. For instance, there's one scene where Seagal is actually running after the 2 bad guys, the one that got arrested and the guy that's driving. He jumps on top of the car, and he's reaching through the passenger window, and he's choking the dude, trying to get them to stop the car. And the whole time the dude's choking, and he's like, making noises, trying to get him to stop. And finally they end up hitting something, and they end up stopping the car, which leads to his arrest, which ends up starting the whole thing. This movie is just it's a fun watch, and I can't believe you guys don't like it.
So
something tells me my efforts at getting this about changing your minds did not work.
We'll be right back. You're listening to the Showdown Podcast.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
It's commercial time. Corey, that was a rough first half of the episode for you. I feel like the nice thing to do would be to let you go first in pitching your social media. So go ahead.
You can find me on Letterboxd.
I'm not going to let you do it because I'm living above the law. Vic.
You can find me at MillerKing51 on social media, or as Black and Angry. That's BLAQ and Angry on all gaming platforms.
All right, Corey.
Okay, you can find me.
You can find the Showdown Podcast at the Showdown Pod on Twitter and Instagram, and the Showdown Podcast on Facebook. Click like somebody should. Find me at BradScottComedy.com and at BradScottComedy on Twitter and Instagram. Comedian Brad Scott there on Facebook. Also, check out the Miller Times Podcast. Corey and Vic give their take on the weekly roundup of television shows that they watch. And then when the shows aren't in season, they watch old shows that they like.
That I force Vic to watch.
And review.
Good
and it's a fun time. It's like the Showdown without Brad Scott. So it's like the Slowdown.
Thanks, Lloyd.
And check out WrestleMania. Brad Scott and his friend Brent Terhune, a writer for the Bob and Tom Radio Show, review the weekly roundings of WWE. I'm fucking this up. WWE.
It's your damn show.
How you wrestling? It's wrestling. Yeah, they review wrestling each week. It's funny. And yeah, Corey, you have to the end of the song. Go ahead.
You can find me on Letterboxd and Twitter at NKOGonzo.
All right, let's get back to the show and see if Corey did something good. I am really struggling here. Do you believe in miracles? Ta-da! All right, let's get back to the show. This is the Showdown podcast. The song has nothing to do with the movie we watched, but the movie we watched didn't give us a whole lot of options. Besides some band Corey wanted us to use that didn't sound interesting at all, so I went with Queen Bey. She got hot sauce in her bag. Swag, Corey. You probably don't even know nothing about that.
Nope.
This is the song that made people hate Beyonce for a little bit. Remember that?
Oh, that stopped?
Formation. So, okay. This was a very unique episode. Very strange. It took a strange turn right up front. I was going to play it off as though, like, you know, I didn't know, and I was on the fence. But Vic, right out the gate, just let Corey know how he felt, and so I kind of followed that lead, and it actually, I think, worked out for the best, because we instead of you having to begrudgingly go through the plot of this movie and act interested in everything else,
Thank you.
Corey got to cover the movie for our listeners and give his, you know, we turned it into something interesting, hopefully. And Vic,
I don't think he believes you.
Vic, I'll let you go first.
All right.
So as of right now, it's one for Survivor.
Yes.
And that's Corey.
Mm-hmm.
You would think he's got a lead. Vic.
So I started watching this movie at 5 o'clock on Sunday. And I got completely disinterested by 5:15 on Sunday and went and started cleaning dishes. That's how much I like this movie. I chose to do dishes over watching this movie. Then I went back after I was done with the dishes and started watching it again and started getting through it a little bit further. And I started playing Overwatch and lost track of it again. And then I started watching it again when I got up in the morning because I had to go pick my wife up from work. So I was watching it before then. And it literally took me, and I still have not finished this movie, by the way. Yeah. Like, literally a couple of minutes ago, I was watching the last few minutes of the movie because I just was not able to sit through it.
There was still at least another 15 after
Oh, yeah, at least. But out of all of the Steven Seagal movies that I've seen, and I've seen almost all of them through the years, this is the worst of all of them, in my opinion, that you could have possibly picked. And unfortunately for you, it definitely does not.
So he did not turn you.
No.
Now hold on. You said that was probably the worst Steven Seagal movie ever, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Interested, like keeping my interest, most definitely.
Now you sent us a link, Scott or Brad and I. You sent us a link of the best Steven Seagal movies. You know what number 3 is?
Yeah, but it's number 3.
It's number 3.
These are other people's opinions. I'm giving you mine.
10 that are on here, it's number 3.
I'm giving you my opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you sent the link.
I sent the link for you.
So either way, is that not then your opinion? If you send the link.
No, I just so we'd have the list of movies that were out there. It wasn't necessarily for the actual thing.
I got you. Yeah, just for the list. Okay.
Yeah. Trying to play something against me, bitch. It wasn't going to change my opinion.
I started watching the movie today, and like I said, I started playing NBA 2K after about 25 minutes, but I had it on the laptop. I didn't even know when this movie ended, because that's just a weird fucking ending with just him talking in a room and then going above the law, and then they end it. Because I remember, I'm paying attention to both, and I'm like, okay, he's sitting here talking for a minute, and kind of look away from that, and then all of a sudden I see credits, and I'm like, what happened? Obviously something exciting and action-packed must have happened that I missed.
Well, that's how the movie started, too. It started off with him talking about something, and then it shows him training in martial arts in Japan.
But I will say this, after listening to Corey go through the plot and his reasons for why he liked the movie and kind of looking at it in a different way from what I may have been looking at, I mean, there's a lot of unexpected shit that happens on this show, Vic. But this ain't one of them. After listening to Corey, I wanted that movie banned.
Good God, I was sweating for a second.
I wanted that movie to be put up there with what they call
the banned film.
No, God damn it, this joke sucks now. Why can't I think of it? It's the thing that that you don't know if it's real or not.
A dream?
No, movies that it's murder and shit. People don't know if it's real.
A reality show?
They think that people buy copies of these movies that are of murders and rapes and shit. They don't know if it's real or not. It has a term for it. Oh my God, the 58 millimeter or whatever movie was about that.
8 millimeter?
No. The one with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, 8 millimeter.
Yeah.
You mean a snuff film?
Snuff. That's what I was looking for. God damn it.
God.
That was a good joke I had too. I put it right up there with snuff films.
Yeah.
See how funny that is?
Yeah, it would have been much better.
So much. It sucked ass because I couldn't think of snuff for some reason. But yeah, this movie sucked ass, Corey.
Nope.
Yeah.
I'm sticking by
You know what?
it.
You listeners can let us know what you thought. We know you won't. Assholes. But we encourage you to send your thoughts.
So,
if you have a
Frenzy,
defense
let us know what you think.
of Above the Law, I'd love to hear it. Because I thought I literally sent a half hour into that movie, sent Corey a text that just said, "I hate you." And you both knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Which is sad that you knew exactly what I was talking about.
Because he knows.
He must have to watch this god-awful movie. Was this you trolling the show?
No. I knew.
What was your first pick?
My first pick?
What was your first pick? Because this was not your first pick.
No.
What was your first pick?
Oh, God. I think it wasn't Under Siege. I think it was Out for Justice.
Okay. So Out for Justice, which actually ranks one below Above the Law.
Oh, God. I don't know if I can handle that.
However, Out for Justice actually is a much better movie than this one. I watched the entire Out for Justice movie.
This movie was just so damn slow at points.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Also, you have...
way too complex of a plot.
Here's my problem with it. So you start out with, he's in Vietnam, and you get to the point of, him having something to do with the CIA, and then it just stops. And these guys are, yelling about how they know who he is, and they'll find him, and don't make them have to come and kill him. But 20 years later, he's in Chicago, and they decide this is the city we should do this in, knowing that this bitch is in Chicago.
Well, they didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
they did, because when they went through and they were doing the whole hacker thing, he was able to find them. They knew where he was, and as soon as he made the arrest, they knew exactly who he was when he made the arrest. So they had some inkling as to this dude, and he wasn't a quiet guy. They were talking about him being trouble from the start in the police department, so that was a bad choice. But this is what my problem is. They went from drug dealers to... oh, these guys are drug dealers, and then it went from, because that dude that he busted in the house was snorting coke with the little girl.
Right.
So he went from a drug deal to C4.
Mm-hmm.
Because they decided that the best way to smuggle in C4 would be to use the local drug dealers as,
well, they were using the shipment coming in, and they were hiding the C4 in the engine blocks.
Yeah.
And that's
what the hell does that have to do with a drug deal?
I don't know.
This argument is a perfect indication of this movie.
Exactly. This is why
it is awful. People are following you.
Come on, the scene.
I just completely checked out.
The scene where they 4 or 5 of the guys show up in the middle of the street and shoot at his car, and he gets out of the car unscathed and ends up with one gun, is able to disarm all 5 of them.
Made me angry.
That's not a good point to fight.
No, made me angry because if they would have hit him, the movie would have been over.
Well, not only that,
they failed me.
The 4 Hispanic guys that jump out with a gun, a machete, a baseball bat, and a car weren't able to stop this dude when they should have just shot him. But instead, he cuts off the one guy's hand. He literally murders these people, and he's not a cop at the time.
It's awesome. That's why it's so awesome. That's one. That is the definition of a great action.
We are holding him to this bullshit because the next time he says something about a movie being great, I'm going to throw this one back.
We're doing another Steven Seagal movie at another.
Dude,
point.
there are.
Oh God!
Not anytime soon.
Please make it at least another year.
We can only handle this for so long.
Bicentennial. How about that?
We're doing one a year.
We'll do another 100 years from now.
That fucker will still be alive.
Now, so one of the reasons why I wanted to do a Steven Seagal movie is obviously because it's...
You hate us.
Because I hate you.
Step number one.
But I came up, a buddy of mine, every year we go out to Colorado, right? And we're all big Nic Cage fans. And last year when we went out there, we watched a Steven Seagal movie because there wasn't really a Nic Cage movie on Netflix to watch. So, of course, we're in Colorado. We do what we do out there. And we watched a Steven Seagal movie. It's really cheesy, but it's so cheesy, it's like, that was bad. It was real bad.
So did you watch this movie high and think it would be a good idea to do on the show?
Actually, no, I was sober when I watched it.
I find that hard to believe.
You looked over like, oh.
No. So,
dude, why you could have done Exit Wound? At least would have had good music to put
we would have
behind it.
DMX too.
Right?
That's a good movie.
All right. So anyway, so my buddy and I were thinking, what if there was a movie with Nic Cage and Steven Seagal in it together? That would be an awesome movie to watch. Now,
I think there'd be a lot of over and under acting.
Exactly my point. Times. Exactly my point. So the other night we were headed to a get together and we're talking about it, and we're like, okay, you put the two of them together, they're partners, and they go in for a drug bust, and Seagal decides that he wants to keep everything from this drug bust and quit the force. And Nic Cage doesn't like the idea, and so
you got that completely backwards.
Mm.
If anything, Nic Cage would be the guy who wants to be the dirty cop,
exactly.
And Seagal would be the guy who cleans up.
Exactly. That's why you change it.
It didn't work for Amy Poehler and Tina Fey and Sisters, and I don't know if it's going to work here.
No, you change it. You put it. You set it in the 70s, okay, and you've got a big car chase that leads up to the end. Nic Cage spends the entire movie trying to bring Seagal down, and he tries to get the captain to help him out, and the captain's like, no, you stay away from it, don't mess with it, because it turns out the captain is in on it too, and they're working a big deal as far as drug smuggling with other countries, so that's why he's in on the whole thing too with Seagal. You have the captain. The captain is played by Gary Busey, and there's you got a Nic Cage freak out moment. Seagal doesn't do much fighting throughout because he's got his own little main henchman played by Vinnie Jones, and there's a big car chase. Like I said, at the end, he's fighting Seagal, which they end up hopping into cars which are souped up 70s muscle cars, and they have the chase, which leads to them Nic Cage bringing down Seagal in the end. Somehow, I want to work in Jeff Goldblum into this. I don't know how yet.
That's so you can get him to watch it. That's the only reason.
No, I'm like this would be this is money. This is awesome, especially when you got Nic Cage freak out. You'll have some Steven Seagal one-liners.
What's
in there.
it called?
Haven't figured that part out yet. Not the point though. People need to start throwing money. We're getting this movie made.
All right.
You guys do not look impressed.
I have to agree. I think that if anyone was going to be the bad guy, it would be Nic Cage.
Yeah, but that's what's expected.
No, it's not.
You never see Seagal.
Nick Cage in most things that he does, he's the investigator, or he's the
but hold on,
the heart, or he's the cop.
Dude, because that's what they're better at.
But hold on, here.
So you're just gonna make the acting worse.
No, here's what happens. At one point, Nic Cage is so frustrated by the whole thing, he does his freak out, his Nic Cage freak out.
He can do the Nic Cage freak out as the bad guy.
No, he can't.
He keeps having all of his drugs or whatever it is taken by the cops, and he does his freak out.
You could do that too, but my way is better. This is so it's money. It's money. It needs to be written.
Untitled Seagal Cage Project.
Yes,
coming soon. And,
let us know what you think, Showdowners.
I think that's the episode. Right?
Yeah.
Do we have anything else?
No.
Other than the fact that this shit.
What are you so mopey about? We listened to your entire treatment.
Yeah.
We heard the whole synopsis.
You guys just don't know a good movie when you see it.
Heard
That's
your whole
two.
Pitch.
The pitch and this movie are both great, and
Which
you guys
one?
should have been in on it.
Which one?
Which one? What?
What was the first one you said?
Above the Law and My Pitch.
Oh, the pitch. Okay.
Yeah.
Untitled Seagal Cage.
Yes. And you're supposed to be playing Above the Law Black Superman, not this.
Oh. Well.
See, you done fucked up again.
How about we go with Fuck the Police? Above the Law, Fuck the Police. That's what I was going for. So this is the Showdown podcast. Yeah, we won awards. For Corey Miller.
Tweet at me if you think this is a great idea. And I will retweet you and show you. Look, everybody supports this. At NKO Gonzo. Well, they heard that earlier.
They probably don't remember. For Vic Miller. Don't nod. It's a listening medium, Vic. I need like a...
Well, normally I say something after you're done, so...
This has been an episode. This is one that we'll have to just power through. And we promise we'll do better next time. I'm Brad Scott. This has been the Showdown Podcast, and we swear we're good at this. Above the law, buddy.